All right, and welcome back to another tutorial on how to build beautiful websites using Joomla. And in this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how you can add video to your articles using an extension or plugin, shall we say, provided by JoomlaWorks called AllVideos. And then in our next tutorial, we'll show you another method of how you can add videos using an extension that is provided by Rocket Theme, which is also an excellent way to add video. But in this tutorial, we'll take a look at the plugin by JoomlaWorks called AllVideos. Now, if you're new to Joomla and you're just jumping into this tutorial, we might briefly explain what an extension is, what a plugin is that you can get for the Joomla. Joomla is basically the main engine that you use to build these beautiful websites. However, there are thousands of extensions that you can get out there on the internet that add more capability to the Joomla engine. And that's what we're going to do today in this tutorial. We're going to go after an extension or plugin to add to our Joomla engine. Now, some of these extensions do require a license fee in order to work with them. For example, this plugin called Simple Image Gallery Pro does cost, about $20 or more, depending on the exchange rate. Another one by JoomlaWorks called Front Page Slideshow, a little bit more, but well worth the money. And one of these days we might have to do a tutorial on how to work with Front Page Slideshow and Simple Image Gallery Pro, because for the price that you have to pay to license these plugins, they really do add a lot of flexibility and power to your website. But in this tutorial today, we are going after, let's go to extensions, we're going after an extension called AllVideos, and this particular plugin from JoomlaWorks is free. And you'll find that as you search the internet for extensions to plug into your Joomla, a lot of them are free. And just, bless their hearts to be able to provide these wonderful extensions for free. And so hats off to JoomlaWorks for giving us this wonderful plugin to be able to add videos to our articles. So if you do not already have it, go ahead and download the latest version of AllVideos. Be sure that you get the one that works in conjunction with the version of Joomla that you're working with. And in these tutorials, you'll know that we're using Joomla 2.5. So click on that if you're following along with these tutorials. Save that to your hard drive. And once it's downloaded, maybe pop it into another folder that you'll be able to find it easily. If you're using Firefox, this is easy. Just go to the little green arrow and drag and drop it into the folder that you want to work with. Okay, now let's open up our Joomla backend, our Joomla control panel, and install that little extension. We go to Extensions, Extension Manager, go to Browse, and then we'll navigate to the folder where we dropped that little extension. And even though it's a zipped file, that's okay. Most of the plugins that you install into Joomla, all of the extensions usually are zipped files, so don't worry about that. Don't have to unpack it first. If a vendor does want you to unpack it first, they usually put that right in the file name. Okay, we get our lovely little message here that it installed successfully, and we are now ready to start working with the extension. Now, the first thing that you should probably do when you install an extension is to, first of all, make sure that the extension is published. And the way that you do that is go to Extensions and go to Plugin Manager and search for the extension that you just uploaded. And here it is here, showing up as AllVideos by JoomlaWorks. And as you go across, you'll see that you've got the red button here, and that means that even though we have installed the plugin there, or the extension, it is not active in our Joomla program. So we need to publish that, and you can do that just by clicking on the little red button, and it should turn green, and it is now active. And let's click on it and open it up and take a look at the control panel that comes with the plugin. Here is a description of the plugin. There's links to JoomlaWorks for documentation. Let's click on that maybe. Takes us back to JoomlaWorks and gives us some documentation on how to install and simple options that come in the control panel of the plugin. If we went back, we'd see that the little diagram here coordinates with the options that show up in the plugin control panel. Okay, so that's something to look over. And then there's something else that's very important to understand with this particular plugin. And for some reason, the chart is missing. There's supposed to be a chart in here that shows you the code that you need to insert into your article in order to play the video, depending on where it is stored on the internet. For some reason, this little link that we chose is not showing that chart. Let's try going back to the actual website and see. For some reason, even when going directly to their website, the all-important table that tells us what code we need to plug into our articles to be able to show these videos is missing. Perhaps they're working on their website today. Sometimes it's just a matter of choosing a different browser. Let's try that. Open up Chrome. Let's go to Docs and All Videos, and still missing. Here it is here. It must be just an issue where I'm trying to do this at the same time that JoomlaWorks is updating, doing some changes to their website. But we were able to access it using Safari. So if for some reason you have trouble finding this chart using Firefox or Chrome, I even tried in Microsoft Explorer of all programs. But here we go in Safari. This is the all-important chart that you need to be able to reference when you want to type in the code in order to play your video. When we want to add a video to our article, it's not like we actually somehow insert the video into our article like we did with the photograph. What we're going to do is just basically write a little small line of code that will point the article to the location where the video is being stored. Actually, there's two charts here. The first chart shows you the types of video formats that you can use with AllVideos and how to put that code in to the article. And if you can't quite see it all there, just scroll over and you'll see the rest of it. And then the second chart shows you the code that you need to use if you're linking to a video that's up on, say, YouTube, for example. That's 3 they show here that allows Flash HTML5 streaming. And so these would be what I would call the recommended sites to use if you want to use somebody else's server for your videos. But in addition to those 3, if you're happy with just Flash streaming only, there are a number of other options here where you can store your videos and link to them using a code that works with AllVideos. So let's say, for example, you want to show a video that you have already put up at YouTube, or for that matter, anywhere on YouTube that you would like to show in your article. Well, you'll see that the first #1 listing with AllVideos here is youtube.com. And in order to know what code you should put in your article, what you have to do is scroll down here and then using this scroll bar, slide it all the way across to the end and go up and find your YouTube because the code is displayed at the very far right of this column, this code, and for some reason the way they've designed their website, it just doesn't all show up. You have to use that scroller bar to find that. So it's a little confusing, but just scroll right over to the right and go back up to the line for YouTube and just kind of take a look at the code there. It's basically YouTube in brackets and then a YouTube video code and then in brackets /YouTube again. Maybe the easiest to do is just do a copy paste of that. And then let's pop that into our article. Now, if you're following along with these tutorials, your text editor may still be set to RockPad. If you find it easier to work in the JCE editor, go to Global Configuration and swap that back You remember where it is located here under Default Editor. Change it from the rock pad that you used in the last tutorial back to JCE. Save and close that. And then let's go to our article manager and click on our article. And here's our article. And then find the point in your article where you would like that video to play. Let's say we want to play that video just before this paragraph. Put your cursor there and do a Control V to paste that little line of code that we copied from the AllVideos website. But now we need to change the actual code, the YouTube code for the video, or we're going to end up playing somebody else's video. So go to your YouTube channel or whatever YouTube channel that you want to grab the video from. And here's the code displayed right up here in your URL browser. You'll notice watch $V equals, and then there's a code. And so copy that and go back to our article and swap out the code that came from AllVideos with the code that you want to play from YouTube and save your article. And scroll down to that point and we see our YouTube video showing up there. And there's several advantages to pointing to a video on YouTube to place in your articles. One is you can use this when you're working with host providers that don't allow you to stream a video. So if you're just working with one of these cheap shared server programs for $3.99 a month, and you want to be able to show video in your articles, well, you can do that by linking to a video that you have uploaded to YouTube. And you won't be bogged down by the cheap server that you're connected with. Another wonderful advantage for your viewers using a YouTube video is if you have uploaded your videos in high definition, your visitor can have the option of watching that video in high definition. You'll notice that as they start to play the video and scroll down here with their mouse, they see that they can change the settings and select. I know that some of you are probably getting a little anxious to start getting some content up on your site. Turn the volume down there. Shut off the advertising and try this again. You'll notice that they can change it to any setting that they want. Depending on the connection speed that they have, they could watch your video in high definition and select full screen. And so that's nice. A third benefit of using YouTube is that it's just so easy. You know, you upload one high definition video and YouTube goes and makes, let's see how many here. Let's check the settings again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different versions of your video that people can choose and connect to depending on their connection speed, and you don't ever have to worry or even know about, or your employee or your family member doesn't even have to worry about knowing how to encode these videos to a proper setting that would stream from your own server. And so it's just a whole lot simpler to be able to link to a YouTube video or a Vimeo video using the settings that are provided here at the AllVideos website. So let's say your video is up at Vimeo. Just follow the same principle there, scroll across and take a look at what code you have to put in your article for Vimeo. Looks like it's basically the same principle. You could, again, do a copy-paste, but it's Vimeo and then the Vimeo code and then a close Vimeo, if I'm pronouncing that right. So you can see how you can link to videos that you have up online elsewhere. What about if you want to play a video that's already on your server? Let's take a look at that option. Now, in order for this to work, there are a couple of steps that you need to do prior to using the AllVideos code in your article. Number one is you have to encode your videos to a proper bit rate. So once you've edited your video, you need to use a program, something like MPEG Streamclip, and export your videos to MPEG 4 using a bit rate that is appropriate for the connection speeds that your viewing audience is likely to have. At my website, where I have video tutorials up on Edius, for example, I have actually set up 2 bit rates that people can choose from depending on where they are in the world and what kind of connection that they have. So for people in Africa, for example, that want to watch the tutorials, they can choose the slow connection and be able to still view the tutorial using a bit rate of around 500. But for people that are in the West and want to be able to see the video in a little bit higher quality or a little bit larger screen, they can choose the fast connection, which I've set up to be a bit rate in MPEG Streamclip to be more like around 1200 to 1500. And perhaps someday we'll have to do a tutorial on how to work with MPEG Streamclip. It's a wonderful little program that you can use to make your videos in a very high quality at a much lower bit rate. But that's probably a tutorial for another day. Then once you have your videos encoded to a low bit rate for your own server, then the next step is to upload them to your server. And you could use File Manager from your cPanel, or you could use your FTP program, FileZilla. And I believe that in previous tutorials we've shown you how to use and work with both. But let's use the FileZilla and go to our host provider. And let's go to public HTML. And let's create a new folder. And you can do that in FTP by just right-clicking anywhere and create directory. Then type in the file folder name that you want to put your videos into. We could just call it videos. And that creates a new file folder. Let's click and open that. And then open up your hard drive where you've stored these videos that you want to include in your articles. And here you'll see that I've got a low resolution version. Let's check the bit rate on that. Oh, and something else to take note of is the frame width. Let's write this down. And we see that the data rate is only 313 kilobits per second. And with that kind of low bit rate, even people in developing countries should be able to watch the tutorial. And now we can just drag and drop that into our FTP program. And once it has finished uploading and shows up in your folder there, we can close out of FileZilla. And then something else I should have pointed out to take note of is the name of the file and the extension, the file extension. So write that down as well. And then let's go back to the JoomlaWorks website and take a look at the first chart here that shows the video formats. And look for the one that goes with the way that your video has been encoded. In my case, it's an MP4 video. And we'll use the one where it is stored on our own server, and then take a look at the example file path that they use here. Now we'll see in their little example here that they are setting this up so that the video would be placed inside a folder called Images, Stories, and then Videos. If we went back and took a look at what we chose to do, that'll be a little bit different. In their example at AllVideos, they have created their videos folder inside the images folder, and then they have another folder here called Stories, and then inside that they have created a folder called Videos. But you don't have to follow the example explicitly. We'll just stick with the folder that we put it in, and we'll show you how to work with that. So basically what we can do, again, is just copy-paste the code that they have used, and then just make some alterations as we place it inside of our article. Now, some of you are probably saying, wow, you're going to a lot of work here just to add video on your own server. Why would anybody want to do that when you can just use YouTube? Well, there are several reasons why you might want to host it yourself. Number one is that it's one thing to be working with your own blog or something like that, but if you're creating a website for a client, your client may not necessarily want to have YouTube branding as their video is played, or a YouTube logo superimposed over their videos, or if their visitor makes a mistake, they end up on YouTube itself, clicked away from their website and are now on YouTube. So there are some disadvantages of using this method, and there are reasons why. Some, especially your clients, may want you to host their videos directly and not have to use a third-party hosting provider. So let's swap out this code here that we had that sent people to YouTube or played the YouTube video and paste in the new code. And here, once we've got that code up, we will want to swap out this part with the actual name of our video. Here it is here. Now, we don't have to worry about the actual file extension because you'll see that the code itself is noting that it is an MP4 video. So all we need is the actual file name. Let's copy paste that into our code. Hit save. Let's do a save and close. Because in order for this to work, we have to actually go back to our plugin control panel for a moment. So go to Plugin Manager under Extensions, go to AllVideos by JoomlaWorks, click on that, and here, let's, in the plugin options over here, let's insert here the folder that AllVideos needs to look for when that code shows up. By default, it's set to images/videos. Well, you'll know that we created a new folder called videos, so all we need to do is have videos here for the local video folder. Now, here's where we want to type in the actual dimensions of the video that we want people to watch by 480. Now, there are some other options here that you might want to take note of. You can choose from a couple of different types of video players that are going to show up in your article. You can choose the background color. You can choose whether or not you want your video to play automatically when someone comes to your article. In most cases, if the video is inside an article, you'll want to set that to no or just keep it at no, because if you choose yes here, as soon as somebody comes to that article, the video is going to start playing. And it may be quite a ways down in your article, and people are going to start hearing something happening as they're starting to read the first part of your article, so it's just going to be confusing. It's better to leave, in most cases, better to leave autoplay off. All right, let's save and close out of this. And now, cross your fingers. Let's go to our website, do a refresh, and now our article is displaying a large window and inviting people to press play when they come to that point in your article. And now, as we play it, you'll see that you get a little logo here, JW Player. It doesn't last very long and disappears. If you want to, you can license the JW Player and make it so that that doesn't show up if your client insists on that. Okay, now what if you want to set it up the way I have it at ediustips.com, where people can link to either a slow connection or a fast connection? How do you do that? That's actually using the Rocket theme plugin, which we're going to discuss in our next tutorial. So if you want to give people the option of the size and quality in your article, then it might be better for you to use the plugin from Rocket theme, because that gives you more flexibility. With the plugin that comes from AllVideos, you are kind of stuck with setting up just one option that people can play, and it shows up in a big screen right inside your article. And there's no real way to set it up like we have here, set up to play using links. So if you'd prefer to set it up with links, be sure to watch the next tutorial. But for now, I believe that that does it for how to add video to your articles using AllVideos by JoomlaWorks.